And welcome back to today's episode 8 of the DJMC Sports Talk. I know Matt today. Matt couldn't join us. He is covering the Marquette St. John's game from home, so he will not be able to join us today. So I'll cover a little bit of the college basketball action for him today. On the agenda today, we got a little bit of stuff that happened in the NBA. Of course, we'll go over scores in tomorrow's games like that. We'll move on, talk a little bit about some MLB, some guys signed, some possible names that are in trade talks, and then a offensive hire for a football team in the NFL this year, for the next coming year, I should say. So let's get right into it here. Alrighty, first action we got the 76ers currently up 93-87 over the Mavericks at the end of the third quarter. That's my pick. I had the 76ers to cover. Looking good. Celtics are up by 10 over Cleveland, start of the third quarter. Rockets and Nets are at halftime. Rockets have a 2-point lead in that one. Knicks are up 17 at half against the Raptors. The Heat are up by 5 on Chicago with 6:26 to go in the second quarter. We're about an hour away from tip-off in the Lakers-Clippers game and another hour away from the Pacers-Trailblazers game. So, our picks are looking pretty solid here. I think the Cavs are going to come out. They shot really bad in the first half. I think they're going to come out, find their rhythm. Donovan Mitchell's dunk was absolutely insane, boys. I don't know if you saw that or not, but definitely going to have to watch that. So looking at tomorrow's games, the Bucks will travel to Charlotte to take on the Hornets, where they're 8.5 favorites. Cavaliers will play on back-to-back nights. They travel to Detroit to take on the Pistons. No spread in that game yet, as you know. There's not going to be a lot of spreads, I don't think, because there's a lot of games going on right now. But on ESPN at 6 o'clock, the Spurs will take on the Hawks, where the Spurs are 3.5-point favorites. Can one of you guys look to see if De'Aaron Fox is going to be playing in that game or not for me, please? Wizards and Nets, if you want to watch the Toilet Bowl, go ahead and tune into that one at 6:30. There's no line in that game yet, but I'd stay away from it. Heat will take on the 76ers in Philly. The Heat are actually 1.5-point favorites in that one. Grizzlies will travel to Toronto to take on the Raptors, where Memphis is a 6.5-point favorite. Bulls are going to be in Minnesota playing the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are 11.5 in that one. Warriors at Utah. Just another not great game. Pelicans will be on the road to take on Denver. Denver's a 9.5-point favorite in that one. On ESPN at 8:30, Suns and Thunder. That could be an exciting game. But Oklahoma City is favored by 13.5 in that one. And to cap off the night, you got the Orlando Magic traveling to Sacramento to take on the Kings. Kings are 5.5-point favorites in that one. It's kind of early to make a pick here, but there is actually one pick that I really do love. And give me the Spurs tomorrow to cover 3.5 against Atlanta. I just think they're a better team. The Hawks are so mid at home for some odd reason. They're just one of the most mid teams of all time at home. So, have you guys gotten a chance to look and come up with a pick yet for those games?
De'Aaron Fox is questionable.
He's questionable? Okay.
My pick for tomorrow, I like the Philadelphia 76ers. They're +1 at home, actually, versus the Miami Heat. The 76ers, they just got their key big man back, and with the way that Tyrese Maxey has been playing, I can see them pulling away and possibly even getting the win in this game. So,
yeah, I do like that one. Jack, yourself?
Yeah, I was going to take the Brooklyn Nets to cover, but like you said, it's going to be a toilet bowl. It's going to be two terrible teams going against each other. So I'm going to take Memphis to cover their spread, which is 6.5 right now, against the Raptors.
I do like that. The Raptors, they were playing some good basketball there for a while, and then just kind of fell off. They're getting beat to the Knicks, who are a good team right now, 17 at halftime. So, we'll jump ahead, kind of update you guys on some scores in the college basketball. Purdue and Iowa just ended, and Purdue won that game 90-81. So Matt is 1-0 to start the day. However, it looks like Marquette is going to drop their road game against St. John's as they're down by 7 with 40 seconds to go. Florida was down by 1 at half, but now they are up by 14 against Vanderbilt. Ole Miss was beating the brakes off of Kentucky. in the first half. They were up 23 at the break. They are now up by 17 with 2:55 to go. Houston's got a 6-point lead over Oklahoma State at the half. Game tipping off here in a little bit. My Oklahoma Sooners traveling to Auburn. Auburn is a 17.5-point favorite in that one. And then a couple other games tonight. I'm gonna skip over a couple of these. UCLA at home against Michigan State. That's gonna be the game of the night, 9 o'clock. It's on Peacock. If you don't have it, you better get it. And then at 10 o'clock on ESPN, Arizona travels to BYU. So that'll be a good game. Like Matt said yesterday, Arizona's hot. But yeah, so anything you guys would like to add, NBA stuff before I cover these notes?
No, I was going to mention about the Thunder and the Suns game. I think it's going to be a really good game to watch tomorrow. The Thunder have taken the past 4, so it'll be interesting to see, obviously who steps on the floor for the Suns tomorrow night, but how they play and if it's worth watching.
I totally agree with you there. Kevin Durant's name's been tossed around in some trade talks recently, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to say the least. Looks like, you could bet Thunder money line, but it's really not going to pay out anything for you, as they're a 13.5-point favorite. So, yeah. Alrighty, well, moving on to a couple of NBA hitters for the night. Caleb Martin got traded from the 76ers to the Mavericks for Quentin Grimes and a 2025 second-round pick today. Just another solid bench guy that the Mavericks will add to their roster. And then, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I just want to bring this up. Dennis Schroeder came out today. And, I think this guy's lost it. I think he really has lost it. Now, I'm not going to say anything about it, and I'm not going to argue, and I'm not going to fight over it. But Dennis Schroeder said that he compares the NBA trade deadline to slavery. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I just wanted to say that and let people know what he said. I can't voice my opinions on Dennis Schroeder over that. And then let's talk a little bit about Luka here. I know we've talked about him in the last 2 episodes, but it is not confirmed yet, but it's likely that he will make his Lakers debut on Saturday. Who do they play again on that day? I think it was the Nets. Or no, the Pacers. It was the Pacers. My apologies.
Yeah, Pacers.
So yeah, and that's a home game for the Lakers. I'll let you take it over from here, Carson. Are you, what's your expectations for Luka? Do you think there may be a minute restriction, or what do you expect to see out of Luka in his Laker debut?
I just kind of want to step back to the Caleb Martin thing real
good.
fast. I think he'll be a decent add to that roster. Just coming in off the bench, coming in for Clay or Kyrie. I think he's a decent piece. I think he averages around 10 points a game, so that won't be bad for them. Nice little addition to their team. Luka, yeah. I think he'll make the team better. I'm not sure about the minutes thing. I'm not really big into that stuff, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's going to be intriguing. Go ahead.
You also don't want to rush him to do anything at this point. The All-Star break is about to be here, so
yeah,
I
I didn't expect to see him play until after the All-Star break. However, the whole city of Los Angeles probably wants to see that guy get on the floor in a Lakers jersey, but they probably can't wait any longer. So, I just hope he comes out, and I hope he's, at least decently healthy and, performs well. So, I'm the biggest LeBron fan you're ever going to meet. So I will always root for, whatever team he plays for. Y'all can call it Glaze. Y'all can call it whatever you want. LeBron all the way. So, Jack, anything, additional that you'd like to add about Luka or the Lakers?
Yeah, the minute restriction, I think it'll be like a minimum restriction. Like you said, people want to see him play. I feel like they want to test the waters to see how he cooperates with the team overall on the court, how it is overall, how well he plays in general with Lakers and stuff like that. So I think there'll be a minute restriction, but I don't think it'll be crazy like he only plays 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I totally get that. Maybe like a solid 7-8 minutes a quarter. Something decent like that. You're looking at a good 32 minutes out of the 48 in that game. So,
Hmm.
it'll be interesting, and nobody really knows besides what JJ Redick is going to do with him. Anyways, so all right, well that'll wrap up our our NBA action today. My apologies. Let's talk a little bit about the MLB. I know yesterday we mentioned Pat Horbrig with his scandal with the betting and all that good stuff. Nothing's really came out about that. What you guys know is exactly what we know. However, Randall Grichuk did re-sign with the Diamondbacks on a 1-year deal. It's going to be interesting. He's going to be a Thunder right-handed bench bat, or a guy that could play DH for them a little bit. I don't see him playing a whole heck of a lot, but definitely a nice piece to bring off your bench in a scenario that you need, a veteran presence. Earlier, the Cardinals and Red Sox were in deep, heavy conversations regarding Nolan Arenado. I actually had a buddy of mine that is in the Cardinals system reach out to me and inform me, that Arenado's probably going to be on the move to the Red Sox now. This is actually intriguing to me because Jack and I were talking about this, because as soon as I got the text from him, I called Jack because we are both, diehard Cardinal fans. And sorry, I just want to add this: St. John's did hold on and beat Marquette 70-64. So we are 1-1 tonight in the college basketball. But yeah, so we were kind of talking a little bit about it, and I told Jack, I'd send over Helsley and Arenado if I was the Cardinals. And Jack was like, man, why would you do that? Helsley's such a dominant closer. Well, you're right. He is. Helsley's a top 3 closer in all baseball. But when you're winning 70 games a year and he's only getting 33 to 35 saves, maybe, what's the point of having a good closer when, you're not fighting for a playoff spot? You might as well build up your farm, because if you guys know, the Cardinals have absolutely emptied their farm system before. I mean, guys like Sandy Alcantara, guys like Adolis Garcia, guys like Randy Arozarena, guys like Zach Gallen. I mean, those are 4 huge pieces that were on the Cardinals now. We're talking about a team that, might have the second best record in the NL. So I would personally package Helsley with Arenado and send them both. The Red Sox are absolutely loaded with prospects. So it'd definitely be an interesting package. I don't think we'd get Ramon Anthony, who is the number 2 prospect in all baseball, but definitely we're going to crack inside the Red Sox top 5 and probably top 10 prospects. And then Ramon Laureano, he signed a 1-year deal with the Orioles. He's a solid defender out there. He's gonna. I think he might have won a Gold Glove in Oakland. Not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But he does have 12 games left on his suspension from taking PEDs, so he'll be sitting out there for a little bit to start the season. And I think he's just a guy that the Orioles brought in to, platoon with Dylan Carlson. As if many of you guys know, Dylan Carlson absolutely smashes left-handed pitching. He's actually a very good left-handed pitcher friendly. You get my point. So, I could see Ramon Laureano. He's better righty-righty. So, just a platoon option there for the Orioles. But yeah, that's about all that's going down in the MLB right now. Not a whole heck of a lot going. Pitchers and catchers do report on Sunday. So, the MLB is right around the corner. Well, that is all MLB. You guys got anything you'd like to add, baseball related or not?
With Arenado, trading him, you're not going to get like a new prospect type of guy. You're going to get an older guy. I'm pretty sure you mentioned, sorry if I butcher this, but Masataka Yoshida a while ago.
We talked about him.
Yeah, he's 31. He's only played 2 years in the MLB, and both of the years he's at a 285 average throughout both of his years. He's an outfielder. You're not going to get a new prospect type of guy out of Arenado. That's why you brought up Helsley, to get somebody that's worth taking with that trade instead of just going 1-for-1. But yeah.
No, I agree too. But also, if you trade a veteran, a good veteran like a guy like Arenado to a team, you are going to get a younger player in return. It's kind of like what the White Sox do every day, or not every day, every year. Like last year, last year, traded Eric Fetty to the Cardinals, got some prospects out of that. Actually, no, they got Miguel Vargas from the Dodgers in that 3-team trade. So, it's a popular thing you do see, but it'll be interesting going forward. With the trades that have happened in the last 3 days, we really don't know who's next, and it's kind of like who's next at this point. So, well, I don't got anything NFL or MLB related, so let's jump to the NFL here. Only news that I really got on the NFL, Chip Kelly, he signed a deal to become the new Raiders offensive coordinator. Now that's going to be interesting. Chip Kelly had a good year last year at the collegiate level. We know he hasn't really had a lot of success in the NFL. Taking over a young Raiders team with the only bright spot on that offense being Brock Bowers. So, do you guys? Jack, you wouldn't really know a little bit about Chip Kelly. But what about you, Carson? You got anything you'd like to add on Chip Kelly here?
No, I think it's a good addition though. With their Pete Carroll hire and then the Chip Kelly coming in, just getting a new all-around coaching for the offense. You got Brock Bowers there, who's very he's looked at as one of the best offensive rookies in the league. People argued for him to win it over Jane Daniels. I think he coached at Ohio State last year, right?
Yeah, I want to say
Does
so.
that sound right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Obviously, we see what they did.
He ran teams off the field with that offense.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. You got anything? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to mention that I really do like the Pete Carroll hire for the Raiders, though.
Yeah, that was a good hire there, by the Raiders. Well, let's move to our last segment. I wanted to save this for last because we usually
before
do
you
something
go,
MLB. Go ahead.
Do you want to mention anything about Matt's thing he sent earlier about the Browns assistant D-line coach going to the Bears?
Oh, yes. Way to stop me on that. Jack, go ahead. Since you caught me on that, you go ahead and tell the world.
Yeah. The Jeremy Garrett from the Cleveland Browns is going to the Bears. You look at him, you see Myles Garrett. That's what I saw. Mm-hmm. So when you put an assistant coach like that on a team like the Bears, they're bound to get better. Although I think they need an O-line, because without an O-line, you're not going to get passes out. But regardless, I think that's a good addition. Although he's just an assistant coach, it's still a good addition.
Yeah, and assistant D-line coach, he's coming over from Cleveland, of course, as well. So that kind of brings a little bit of speculation of, why Myles Garrett would maybe look at the Bears as a team for him. But like Matt said yesterday, he's going to go to – it's a team that Myles Garrett thinks is ready for a championship, not a team that the Cleveland Browns think is ready for a championship. Like you mentioned the other day about the Patriots, for instance. Thank you, Jack, for catching that. I would have blown right over it. So I wanted to save this for last just because we usually do a little thing over the MLB last. I am going to go through all of the teams that I believe are going to make the MLB playoffs and just keep knocking this down step by step. So, starting off, I'm going to start off with the American League. I think the Yankees do win that that league, I should say. I think they cruise in and they get the 1 seed there. Second team, a team that we talked about yesterday in the AL West segment, I got the Astros taking the 2 seed in that league as well. So I think it's going to be an interesting year for that 1-2. I think the Yankees should roll over that division. I think they're the best team in the American League. I know that was 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3 years. It was 2022, I think. The Astros were the last time they got the 1. So, yeah, those are going to be my two teams that I have getting the buys. And then I think the third team, the team that's going to have to come out of the AL Central, will be give me the Royals, the Kansas City Royals, to get the 3 seed. And then for my 4 seed, the best, I'm going to take the Baltimore Orioles for my 4 seed there. I think they slide in at number 4 and play a wild card game. And then for my 5, I'm going to take the Texas Rangers. I really do think that they can sneak in there if they stay healthy, like we mentioned them yesterday. Staying healthy has been an issue for those guys for a while now. And then my number 6. For my number 6, give me. You know what? I had somebody today reach out and say put some respect on the Mariners. So I'm gonna put the Mariners at the number 6. I think that, like we said yesterday, their starting pitching is just absolutely disgusting. They have a very good starting rotation there. And like Jack mentioned yesterday, for them to maybe go out and get a guy like Pete Alonso or Alex Bregman would make a lot of sense to boost this offense a little bit more. So those are my 6 teams that I have making it out of the AL. Would you guys say you mainly agree with this list, or would you guys anything that you'd like to change, or maybe a team that you don't believe deserve to make a prediction?
Go ahead, Jack.
I pretty much agree on everything, but I feel like the Royals. I think you said Royals Astros for 3 and 4, or like Astros Royals 3 and 4.
I had the Royals at 3 because if you win your division, you're automatically 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, it was Kansas City. It was Royals and Orioles.
Okay.
So I feel like both of those teams are good. I do feel like the Orioles are a little better than the Orioles are better than the Royals. But I agree with everything you said, and the Mariners. I like that you brought up them as a 6 seed, and the picking up of possibility of them picking up Pete Alonso or Alex Bregman to boost the offense. They have good pitching. I feel like and the Texas Rangers, of course, if they stay healthy, they're going to have a year. But yeah, I feel like you pretty much hit it on the dot when it comes to the playoffs for the AL.
Yeah, and another thing too is I think I understand partially what you were saying about the Royals and the Orioles. The Orioles are definitely a better team than the Kansas City Royals, but the 1, 2, and 3 seeds are always the division winners. So that's why I have the Yankees winning the AL East and then being the 1 seed, which the Orioles are in the same division. That's why I have the Orioles getting the best, technically wild card seat in that. But yeah, I do agree with you on that. I do think the Orioles are a better team than the Royals. Pardon the interruption. I just want to chime on this right here. We have a college basketball. Wisconsin is currently up 24-4 on Indiana, so they're shooting the lights out of it right now. Carson, anything you'd like to add AL Central or AL playoff wise?
No, not really. I kind of agree with you. Yankees won. Yeah. Nothing really more to say with that. Astros. I got the Tigers here as well, so.
Oh yeah, that is a team that could be sneaky with the signing of Flaherty as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well
Solid
I'm gonna move
pitching.
on to. Yes, I'm gonna move on to now my NL's playoff predictions. Dodgers at 1, non-arguable. If you don't think it's gonna happen, you don't know ball. You don't watch ball. I think the Dodgers take the number 1 seed in this. The number 2 seed, however, I think the number 2 seed is going to come from the NL East. Now it's going to be one of 3 teams. It's going to be the Braves, the Phillies, or the Mets. I think the Phillies are the best team in that division. I think they have a great staff there. Ranger Suarez, Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Jesus Luzardo's now there as well, and Christopher Sanchez. I mean, we're talking a top 5 rotation in baseball there. The Braves are going to be without Strider and Acuna to start the year, and I think the Phillies just, they put it on the floor and just go. So I have them taking the 2 seed. And then my NL Central winner, I hate to say this, but I got the Cubs. I think the Cubs do win the NL Central. I think they're the best team in that division in the NL Central. However, like Matt said, don't count the Brewers. They just find a way to win 24/7. So those are my division winners and my 1, 2, and 3 seeds in that order. For my 4 seed, give me the Atlanta Braves at my 4 seed. And they would then travel to play. The 4 would play the 5. So the Braves would be at home, and I have the Braves playing the Mets. I think the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies all make it out of that division. I think that all 3 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. And then my 6 seed, this one was tough. I went back and forth between 2 teams, and it's a team that I am very, very high on this year. Give me the Arizona Diamondbacks at 6. I really do like what they did. They brought in Josh Naylor from Cleveland. They brought in Corbin Burns to solidify their rotation with Zach Gallen, Myro Kelly already. They're going to have a nasty 1-2-3 punch there. I do think they are deserving of a wild card spot. The other 2 teams that I could see possibly doing it, San Diego Padres, I can see them getting in, and then the Milwaukee Brewers. On paper, I'd rather take Arizona's roster over San Diego and Milwaukee. You guys got anything you'd like to add, or maybe a team to look out for in the NL to make the playoffs?
I feel like the only thing is the Brewers are going to be close runner-ups for the NL Central to win the division. I do think the Cubs will win the division, but like you said, and Matt said, the Brewers find a way to win. They don't have a bad team, and non-negotiable. They're the second best team in the NL Central. But when it comes down to when the Cubs and the Brewers, if the Brewers find a way to somehow win just a couple games more than the Cubs, they could get that spot.
Okay. I do like that. Carson, anything you'd like to add?
No, not really. I kind of like the Padres getting in a little bit higher than what you had said. I think they sneak in there over the Diamondbacks, or I think you mentioned the Mets as well. The Mets still have to figure that out with Juan Soto, and their pitching is a little rough. So, they still have a season ahead to figure that out. But I believe the Padres get in there, and, they have a pretty good hitting lineup, and obviously their pitching is pretty decent as well. So, stars all over the field.
Yeah, and these are our way too early predictions. The season doesn't start for another almost 2 months, so these are way too early predictions. One injury could change almost everything, unless it's the Dodgers, of course. But all right, so for my AL, moving out of the wild card rounds, I think the Royals will take care. And they'll move on to play. It would be the Astros. It'd be the Astros at the 2, and then out of that, 5 and 4. Give me the Orioles to move on, and they're gonna go play the Yankees, and then I'm gonna take the Orioles to upset the Yankees. I think the Orioles play well enough, and they don't catch that break that the Yankees catch with the bye. So give me the Orioles to go all the way to the ALCS, and then give me the Astros to move on, and then I'm going to take the Orioles to win the AL this year. Sneaky pick. Too early. I do like their roster. Starting pitching is going to be a question mark, but I'm assuming that these guys are going to go out and go get a guy at the deadline and go get a guy right before the All-Star break. They've done it recently with Jack Flaherty a couple of years ago. So give me the Baltimore Orioles to win the AL. And then for my wild cards in the NL, I'm going to take the Braves over the Mets. And I'm going to take give me the Diamondbacks. Give me the Diamondbacks over the Cubs. I like the Diamondbacks rotation a little bit more than I do the Cubs. And I'm just not a Cubs fan, so anytime they lose, I've already given them enough hype in this video, so it ends now. So then Diamondbacks would then travel to LA to face the Dodgers, and the Braves would go to Philadelphia. Give me the Phillies to take care of the Braves in that one, and then give me the Dodgers to take care of the Diamondbacks in probably 4 games. And then give me the Dodgers to take care of Philadelphia in probably 6. And then Dodgers win the NL, and give me Dodgers Orioles in the World Series. I mean, I think it's pretty simple. I think the Dodgers cruise. I mean, I really do. There's just not a team that's going to stop these guys. So, you guys got, anything additionally you'd like to add? Or maybe, you guys don't have to make your picks, but just like thoughts on, maybe do you understand the Diamondbacks Cubs, my upset I have there? Or maybe do you think, I'm crazy with having the Baltimore Orioles winning the AL?
First thing I have is don't count out the Mariners and Rangers. Although they are playing good teams, they are both good teams themselves. But overall, I still agree with those 2 first picks, and I do not think the Orioles are upsetting the Yankees. I could definitely see a Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
A little rematch action.
Yeah, but I think regardless, the Dodgers, they're just going to walk away with it. They're playing a Moneyball game. They're just buying everybody, and they're
playing
winning.
with unlimited money.
Basically.
Carson, anything you want to add?
Yeah, like Jack said, I kind of agree with the Yankees, but I mean, like I said before, I could also see the Tigers going pretty far. I mean, looking at these teams, I mean, the Tigers can also beat, like the Phillies, you said, and the Padres, like I said. So, I mean, really, it's baseball, and anything can happen in 7 games, so who knows?
Yeah. That's the thing. Baseball's a weird sport. It's a lot different than what you typically see in the NBA or the NFL, where if the Ravens were to play the Giants probably lose by 20 every time. You could have the Dodgers play the Marlins, and say the Marlins are hot, they're swinging the bat well, they put up 6, and the Dodgers just can't hit for some reason, or they're on their 6th straight game in a row. That's just how baseball is, and that's what makes the game so unique.
It's about getting hot.
Yeah, and
that's
I mean
that's what I kind of see your Orioles Yankees thing. If the Orioles they have 2 weeks in a row, or 2 games in a row, whatever, against the Yankees, if they get hot, I can see that upset happening. But regardless, the Yankees are a great team overall.
Yeah, they are, and it kind of bring it back to the NFL here. The same thing with what happened with the Commanders and the Lions. The Commanders were playing their best ball when they needed to play it, and the Lions had that bye week, and I'm not gonna say they came out flat. I mean, they put up 32 points, but they just couldn't stop the Commanders in that one. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year. And like I said, these are our way too early predictions, okay? So when I post this on TikTok, I don't want people commenting and saying this guy's out of his mind that he's got the Baltimore Orioles, a team that didn't even make it out of the wild card last year, and winning it all, all right? I'm all about it, okay? I love the Baltimore Orioles. I love the bird bath. I'm all about it. So, well, I mean, that's going to wrap everything else up for today. Just a short little episode. No Matt today, so definitely missed him a little bit. But you guys got anything else you'd like to add? Or
Nope.
All good?
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, appreciate you guys listening. And everybody take care and have a great rest of the week. And stay tuned. Stay tuned, because we are going to have a full Super Bowl episode coming out on Friday night or Saturday morning. So eyes peeled for that one. Follow the TikTok at djmc.sports.talk. Follow the Instagram at djmc_sports_talk. Follow the YouTube at djmc sports talk, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yes, sir.